see. I'm gonna turn on some lights here. Hey there.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Christy. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Teresa. It's good to see you. I think Debbie's going to be joining us also. Let's see, I see a phone. Is that?
Oh, that's me.
That's me, Terry.
Oh.
Who's that?
Terry.
Oh, hi, Terry.
Hi.
Awesome. So how is everyone doing this week? Let's just kind of catch up on where everyone is. Some of you I spoke with earlier this week, and some of you it's been like a few weeks.
Well, I'm doing well. I wanted to tell you the story of trying some new kombucha with my son. I bought a ginger lemon flavor. I was telling him it was ginger ale and lemonade combined. So he tried it, and he only took a little bit of it, but he didn't just refuse, and he didn't hate it. So I was excited about that.
Woo-hoo! Congratulations, Teresa. That is a big deal. I love it. I love it. The Acetobacter, that bacteria in kombucha is really nice for digestion. So
That's good.
Congratulations. Woo-hoo. You know what brand it is? Maybe we can share it on the.
I think it's called Health Aid. It's got a little picture of an anchor on the front.
Okay, I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I just thought that he's tried the Lady Apple flavor and the pomegranate flavor, and he's not liked either of them. He pretty much won't drink them, but I spun it with the lemonade ginger ale twist, so he went for it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, Teresa, you're awesome.
Thanks.
All right, what else is new? Any other wins to report?
Alyssa, I got the test result back for Alexa's zinc, and it was indeed low.
It was not low?
It was low.
It was. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Have you thought about adding some zinc in?
Yes. I don't know if you have any recommendations for the type.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think there are quite a few really fantastic supplement brands out there. We happen to use Pure Encapsulations. We get the 30 milligram. And right now, West is taking one 30 milligram capsule in the morning and one in the evening.
Oh, okay. Is that zinc citrate, do you know, or is it a different form?
You know, I should know this off the top of my head. I'm going to grab it and read it and show it to you. And this is by Pure Encapsulations. And it is a zinc picolinate.
Okay, yeah.
Backwards.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too.
Yeah.
Does he
No,
swallow?
Is it a chewable or is it a
It's a capsule.
capsule?
He's been really good at swallowing capsules for a few years now, so I'm really fortunate about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very awesome. But because it is a capsule, you can also open it up and just dump it into a drink.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or pudding or whatever.
Smoothie, yeah.
Mary, it's good to have you here. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi there, Asher.
You say hello.
Ooh,
Just gonna make faces at everybody.
It's so fun. We're all looking at you.
We're doing well over here. If you can't tell.
Great. Yeah, you look so happy. Including books. Are you eating books? Oh, books are so good.
They are.
Good for those teeth. Yeah. And How are you guys? I know that your whole schedule has gotten shifted. And, haven't heard from a while what your next steps are.
We just rescheduled surgery. It'll be December 21st now.
December 21st.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
How's that working with family visits and food and all of that?
Good. Everything's going pretty well. He has a CAT scan on Tuesday, so we've definitely been upping all the vitamins and making sure, because they put him under for that one.
Yeah.
But just trying to get him all loaded up as best as I can. We'll keep them loaded up since this is the third reschedule. But
that's kind of a blessing, isn't it?
yeah, we're not initially. It's kind of like that. I was upset because you just mentally prepare to have it done, but then there's also a relief that we have more time, and I think it's been good. I have to believe that there's a reason for the changes, and we're fine with it. It's not a crisis surgery, so there's like a 6-month window that we have, so it's not that big a deal to change it. But yeah, it was good, family and everything. And his I think last time I spoke, he had just had diagnosed with the ear infection, and I treated it with garlic oil and lots of vitamin C, and he was like back to normal within 2 days, 3 days.
Fantastic. That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Yeah.
And Christy, how are you doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. I don't want to be a downer, but we're kind of in a funk. Just having a hard time kind of keeping up with the routine of everything. And Kylie was supposed to have a doctor's appointment today, and I just canceled it. I couldn't stomach a blood draw.
Yeah.
It's so traumatic for her. It's brutal on everybody, to be quite honest. So I was looking forward to like moving her along. We were going to start, what are they called? The sublingual drops for allergies, the spray under your tongue. What the heck are those called? Do you know what I'm talking about, Alyssa?
I've heard of them, but I actually don't have much.
Immunotherapy, that's what it's called.
Oh, the amino acids, like amino acids?
No, it's to desensitize food allergies.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Sublingual immunotherapy. I can't remember. It's SILT.
My sister used that, Christy, and it was really helpful for her.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So we were going to start that, and I haven't moved that needle forward, but we will. And then we were just trying to, we're at the stage where we need more answers for her. So canceling the doctor's appointment doesn't help, but I just also knew like the stress of it on her and on me right now wasn't going to be the right thing either. So this doctor is hard to get in with. And I'm kind of in this practice of like every other visit I tend to cancel if it has anything to do with blood work once it gets close, but it'll be a while. So I think just trying to, find a way to get out of the funk that we're in is kind of where I'm at. We're going on vacation next week, just get away from everything, which would be awesome.
Hey. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Where are you going?
We're going to New Hampshire. We were going to go skiing, and we got some bummer news about the mountain. Like the kids' lessons haven't started yet because there's not enough snow and blah, blah, blah. So we might not, it might be a plan B, but we'll have fun together, whatever it ends up being.
Yes, that's awesome. That sounds really good. And Kylie must be super excited about that.
Yeah. Time with mom. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, that's awesome. And do you have family up there, or is it just you and Lou and Kylie?
Just us, yeah.
Oh, that sounds so great. I'm really happy for you.
Thanks.
When you do, when you think about the blood tests, do you, or I guess I'd like to ask the group. I know that like I have gradually kind of found things that are really helpful to keep West calm for blood draws. and other kind of like painful experiences. And I'm wondering if the group can contribute any like supportive like strategies that they've used to kind of give Christy an arsenal of options here.
I can say what I've tried and hasn't worked, but might work for other people.
Okay.
I've tried like video using the phone so she can watch her favorite show or something. It's like and I don't tell her, there's no build up. I don't tell.
You're a little bit frozen right now, just so you know. It might be me. Maybe my thing is frozen.
Yeah, it's frozen on mine too.
Mine too.
All right, let's bring her. Huh. For the sake of the video, to keep going, because we'll get to reference this later on, and Christy will as well. Teresa or Sarah, do you guys have any methods that you use while we're waiting for Christy's video to catch up?
I wish, because Mathis hasn't had any in a while. I think he was 13 months old last time he had one.
Okay.
Well, and then he did it when he had his catheter, but he was drugged up by the time they did it. So both times the last time he had pre-op and had to have a blood draw, he was 4 months old. And so, he cried, but he was easy to calm down pretty quickly then. So I'm looking forward to finding out some options. And if something works really well when we have our pre-op, I will report back to the group.
Yeah. There's a particular cream that, and I can't remember what it is. I'm going to look this up and write a note to myself right now. There's a numbing cream that we routinely used before going in for his checkups when he was having lots of blood draws. And it was super effective. You just put it on like 30 minutes before the appointment, like 30 minutes to an hour, and it really numbed the skin. So it was more of just like pressure that they would feel. This is pretty widely available, but I think you need to know to ask for it and get it ahead of time. So I'll get the name of that and try and figure out if there's like a really good way to get a hold of that if you're not in the midst of a big treatment or something. But Sarah, you definitely would have access to that because you're involved in like kind of a drawn out set of hospital procedures. Mm-hmm. And I'll figure this out for Christy as well. I'll see what I can, what information I can get for her. Another thing go ahead.
Is it a prescription?
It is not a prescription. It's something he actually gave to us at the hospital.
Okay.
A tube of cream, and we just called it the cream. I remember what it actually was because it was like, do you have the cream? It was like the magic cream, right?
Okay. I'm sure they would know what I'm talking about if I
yes, they will.
Ask. So I'll ask them about the cream.
Okay, great. Oh, Christy, you're back. Okay.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi went down.
Okay, great.
Long story short, the videos don't work. There's a juice bar. She loves juice bars, and there's a juice bar near there, and they have the chocolate booty bars that she can have. So I always promise her, no matter how it goes, just as long as we get the shot done, we can right afterwards we can go and get our smoothie and chocolate bar, and that isn't enough. And each time it's just worse. It's getting worse every time. So I don't know. I mean, she's like screaming, crying, flailing.
Right. Yeah. So have you tried bringing in any of these rest and digest or like the parasympathetic supports, just like all of them, like pulling out all the stops and like before you're going, like before you even tell her what's happening, like do some of the tapping.
Okay.
Bring in some of the deep breathing, practice with her so that she kind of is in the habit of doing the deep breathing with you, blowing on your face when she's upset. And I don't know if she gets angry at you because you want her to do this painful thing. For West, it's when he's upset. It's helpful for me to tell him to blow in my face, like blow out all his angries right in my face.
Okay.
And then I've had really good success just this week. It occurred to me to, I sent an email about it, to put the parasympathetic blend, the Vibrant Blue Oils blend on parasympathetic blend behind his ears before I brushed his hair, because brushing his hair is a traumatic experience like you're describing.
Ours too. Yeah, ours too, yeah.
So he's gotten really zen about the blood draws, because I mean, I think at this point I have such a process around like supporting him right up to that moment, and then like he always has like a prize right after. For a while, we was bringing little Playmobil toys, like little toy packs, a new one for him to open right before the blood draw, and then he had it to play with while the blood draw was happening.
That's a great idea. Yeah, we do the toys afterwards, like go shopping for toys after the juice bar, but that's a great idea to try it beforehand.
Yeah, you could try it as like a distraction if the screen isn't working. And, you could try that as the thing that's happening during the blood draw. And I have to say the parasympathetic blend, that essential oil blend, really like totally changed his around the hair brushing. So that I recommend it.
Okay.
And you're welcome. And I know that other people here have have their ways of getting through these challenging moments. Any other thoughts from Teresa, Terry?
I haven't had too much success lately. My son's had 2 blood draws. The first one was a couple of years ago, and he did quite well. We went to a phlebotomy place, and I don't know if it was just the newness of it, but he was probably about 8 at the time, and he sat there, and the technician said, "You do this so much better than most adults," and he just sat there like a champ. I think he was looking at it even, but this second time was a whole different story. He's now 10, and it was a home health person, which I thought would be good coming to the house. We didn't have to go to the phlebotomy place. Well, I think the timing worked out against not setting up right, because it was right after school. The people were waiting for us when we got home, and he whisked right in, and I was thinking, well, good, we'll get it over with, and then he won't have to worry about it. But I don't think he had a chance to kind of decompress from the day. He might have needed a snack. I don't know. He just was not happy he did it, but he had little tears coming down his face, and he said it was the worst experience and he would never, ever, ever do it again. So I do think setting them up to succeed really makes it go one way or the other, and I wish I had done it differently now this past time, because in the future now we're going to have this challenge to overcome. So I'm mentally taking notes as to what else I can do different.
Yeah. Thank you, Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that like kind of the state of our being, whether our kids are in their sympathetic mode, either because they're just coming home from a stressful day of school or social stuff, or maybe we walk in and it's a rush, and that's kind of like that sets us into sympathetic, or because they know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get hurt. That's sympathetic mode. So anything we can do to get them back in that parasympathetic mode, whether it's like an attractive toy that they're playing with, and playing is really a parasympathetic activity. When they get lost in their imagination, that's a parasympathetic, that's a very rest and digest activity. So all of these different things really can support. And like, I have made so many errors over the years with Wes, where I was like, oh, wow, that was not a good idea. And then, like I said, you just like sit, mental notes, and then next time you try it differently. So they recover. Kids are amazing. They totally recover. And for any of these, it's a traumatic experience. And you all have all of the resources to process that trauma for them, to help them out of the amygdala into the cortex so that they can remember the event without being flushed with that fear of pain. Will go along with it as long as that memory is stuck in their, in that primitive part of their brain that really is designed to protect them. Like, it's really doing its job, and their brain is working really well, and you get to help shift that. So the EFT tapping is super powerful as far as releasing that that emotional part of the memory for them. So that's something that you could, that any one of us can do once in a while, just like do a little tapping. Hey, do you remember when that was really kind of painful? I've been thinking about that lately. Let's do a little tapping on that and see if we can let it go. And then you can make up whatever, like express like the reality of how it really hurts. And you are so strong and so brave. And you're so healthy. And your body is doing all this great stuff to protect you. And whatever wonderful thing that you love about your child, it's just acknowledging the reality of it, the ugly truth, reminding them what an amazing, perfect human being they are and how much you love them, and that everything's going to be fine. So, and you have all the talking points in digest mode. The other thing that is really, really super helpful in moving trauma from the amygdala out into the cortex to be released is cross-crawl animal walking. So with us, we do turn on some funky music, and we were doing this a lot while West was in treatment, and for the year after treatment, we would do this a couple times a week. We do it once in a while now. But turn on the music, and any kind of walking or like swimming, you're alternating your arms and legs, how you move. When you walk and swing your arms, your right arm goes forward and your left arm goes forward. And if you make a game where you're all crawling around like animals, you can really accentuate this cross-crawl animal walking, walk around on the floor, play a game, be the animals, make on the music. And this also is helping move these trauma out of the amygdala into the cerebral cortex. I don't actually know how that happens, but it does. And they're really it's another kind of supportive strategy to get ready for the next whatever that's going to happen.
One thing I've noticed is how they feed on my energy. And, like when Mathis had his catheter, he was all upset, and I just stayed very calm and was, doing everything I could to calm him down. And I mean, it only took him maybe 20 minutes to finally calm down, which I thought was amazing. and I notice if I go into something really fearful, even if it's just like putting them to bed, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I just want them to sleep tonight and whatever, and then they don't sleep because I'm like afraid that they're not going to sleep. And it's worked the same with any of the medical stuff that we've done, that he's able to stay calm. Because we had he got diagnosed with an ear infection. We had to reschedule his surgery, and they did a viral panel where they had to stick this long Q-tip way up in his nose, and he was not happy about it whatsoever. But they had a toy for him there. I didn't even think to bring that. So fortunately he had something to distract him, but I was able to calm him down, and he calmed down really quickly afterwards. And so I feel like my energy helped him with that.
I agree with that 100%.
And as they get older and you see them behaving like you do or saying things like you do, it's really like looking in a mirror. The good and the bad.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's a good reminder, though, like that I should be doing some of the rest and digest before I get her going. I do fairly well, but I'm not going to lie. I always feel guilty about this. I I feel that pressure from like the people who work there and the, you know what I mean? Because it's like it's a massive incident. And so even though I have all the greatest intentions of just channeling my energy for her, being strong for her, being calm for her, like I get caught up in the moment in all the other like pressure around me, I think.
Yeah. I check out the Facebook group later on today. I'm going to make sure to pull out my the book, The Tapping for Children and Teens and Parents. And I'm going to find a script in there to read. Like I'll just do a little video and read it. I know that they have scripts that are around parental stress, or like what you're describing, like just feel kind of that parental guilt of causing this, like this whole thing. Yeah. It's a great book, and I'm happy to share, like just read for a while.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I do have to put that next to my note to get the crane.
Yeah, the hardest part is remembering to do it for ourselves before the situation.
Yes.
So caught up, like Christy said, in what being strong for your kid, and then you got all the professionals around you and everything, and you just don't think about yourself as much as we should.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, if we back up a little bit more, like our buckets really need to be full for us to be able to show up in the way we want for our kids. Like you were kind of alluding to, like doing some tapping like during the week leading up to this, and making sure we're really religious about getting enough sleep so that we've got that calm kind of presence to then support our kids. Yeah, there are a few layers to it, and it's all about like building these habits in, and eventually we'll be prioritizing quality sleep for ourselves on a regular basis. We'll be doing the tapping and the deep breathing for ourselves as a matter of routine, you know, every morning or every evening. And and it's going to not just support us in this parasympathetic way, but that's also allowing us to digest our food properly. It's also supporting us in cleaning up the inflammation that's putting an extra burden and adding stress and kind of stressing out our adrenal glands a little bit. So it all ties back in to really our deepest sense of balance, just our balance as a whole person.
I just did, I mentioned, I don't remember how many weeks ago it was, about the Transcendence documentary.
Oh, yeah.
That they put out, and Teresa said she started watching it. I don't know if you finished it or not, but they have on fmtv.com, it's an app, and I did a 21-day Transcendence challenge, and it was 21 days with meditation. And there's like a workbook that you go through and you fill it all out. And I made myself sit down and do it every night, and it made such a big difference. All the meditations, I think the longest thing was about tapping, and it was 20 minutes. Most of them are about 7 to 12 minutes long. So they're pretty easy to fit in if you're wanting to make it happen. And it was something that I decided I really needed in my life, and it's made a huge difference. Just it's made me so much more calm, and I feel like I I have more energy, and I feel happier in general. And I mean, it doesn't have to be that specific one, but just something to do something for yourself. If it's just 15 minutes, 10 minutes a day, whatever you can figure out to do. But that really helped me, and writing down a lot of my issues with that workbook was helpful. I've always been resistant to writing things down. Excuse me. Because I'm like, oh, I don't need to write down, I'll remember, whatever. And I just told myself I'm going to write it down this time and do what the experts say. And it really made a huge difference. And I have affirmations written on Post-its all over my mirror, and And it really helps me ground me and bring me back when I'm starting to feel crazy.
I love that.
That's great.
That is fantastic, Sarah. And I agree, there's a real difference between thinking things, thinking the affirmations and thinking the challenges, and actually writing them down. When we engage our brain and our physical body in that process of the action of writing it, it changes how we're thinking, and it really does help us process and embody, especially with those affirmations, to really embody and when we're acting on them. So I love it. Thank you. Hey, Debbie, welcome.
Thanks. Hi, Alyssa and everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
So we've been talking a lot about parasympathetic support and yeah, a whole bunch of things around supporting ourselves and supporting our kids when we know there's going to be like a kind of a traumatic experience coming up, to help keep them in balance and help them master that that connection with their own balance, so that they have access to it, and we just get to support that in them.
Okay.
Yeah. And do we have any, does anyone else have any other questions or things coming up for them this week, this month, that they want to throw out here?
Can I just ask?
Yeah.
So in that conversation around the oils, was this Jody Cohen's parasympathetic oil?
Oh yeah. Her parasympathetic blend, her Vibrant Blue Oils parasympathetic blend, was the one that really worked for us over the past couple of weeks, and has made hair brushing and
Oh yeah, I read.
possible.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else going on for anyone?
I'm curious about the CBD oil. I listened to the that whole interview because I didn't make it to the live part, but she didn't talk much about with kids, and I've been meaning to email her and have not gotten around to it.
Yeah.
So, like, would that be something that would be beneficial to try to get Mathis on before surgery or after surgery, or is it something to just kind of like not do until after everything's recovered? Because I just don't know how everything reacts with, I know it'll help with inflammation, which all that stuff causes major inflammation. But I would love to use it if it's helpful in that certain situation.
I'm going to do a little bit of research around that, because specifically around pre-surgery and with kids. I know that, so in my experience, it really works well with West, and I do use it with West, especially around like occurrences. And it's a really nice, yeah, it's a fantastic parasympathetic. All of the other benefits that you're alluding to. And also Dr. Christopher Shade, like one of the most powerful in the world right now is supporting children with autism symptoms and helping them move and relieve those symptoms. And he's had really amazing success through products like this and his other kinds of detoxification products. Of course, the hemp oil is supporting our endocannabinoid system, which is also a major detoxification support, like our natural detoxification. And I love that it's supporting this process rather than dropping a particular supplement in to like upregulate one of the loops in the complicated process that is our natural detoxification system. So, so there are a lot of reasons that it is really supportive, even for children. And the pre-surgery part, I really want to get confirmation on that. So,
yeah, I looked up Christopher Shade, and I can't find anything around surgery regarding anything. Surgery and heart related stuff on a holistic level, it's like there's nothing that exists.
Right.
At least that I can find. And I've emailed some health professionals and they're like, we don't work with kids, sorry. So
Yeah, there's a lot of that, like not working with kids, unfortunately.
yeah.
So I have a note to check about that to get some more solid information. Anything else going on?
Alyssa,
Yeah, Terry.
I was also curious about these kids and how, like, for what dosage do you use?
You know, I started out using a tiny bottle. The bottles that I have are 50 milliliters and 10 milliliters. And the 10 milliliter bottle, the squirts that come out of that bottle are like barely half the size of the big bottle. And so I started out giving him one of those and then a couple of those. And now I just give him one or two from the big bottle. And it works fine. I have seen zero detrimental effects. And you know, your questions are really making me interested in getting more confirmation. So, because I know what I experience and I know that many people are giving it to their children, and it's really been effective in a good way. But I want to have more specific support for that. So, I'm going to look into that.
Okay.
I have a question about kid palatable methylated B vitamin supplements. I'm having a struggle getting my son to take enough. He'll take the Smarty Pants vitamins, but it doesn't have enough for what he needs. He'll be taking too many, I guess. So I've tried a powder formulation. He doesn't like the taste of it that you add to a drink or something. There's also a sublingual spray. He's not a fan of that. So I resorted to giving him a capsule, but it's a fairly large capsule, and sometimes it will go down and sometimes he refuses, and I'll find them hidden around the house, or he'll spit it back out. So I was looking online and I found kind of a cream version. Has 3 methylated B vitamins and a vitamin D, and I didn't know if anybody had experience using something different like that, or if there was another product that someone could recommend.
Do you know who makes it?
I have it on my computer screen. I will look and see.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into this.
My Zoom is covering it up. Hang on just a minute.
Okay.
Nutrigenomic.
Okay.
I think. Let me go back here. No, that's one of the brands that they offer, but Neurobiologics with an X at the end is the pharmaceutical grade supplement. So
okay. Yeah, that's a very interesting question.
I just thought if we didn't have to fight with the orals, maybe it would be an option, but I didn't know if anyone else had experienced something and had success.
I've never done it with B vitamins, but I have a magnesium roll-on that I put on their feet. Mm-hmm. And it seemed, because the magnesium powders are just gross. They're hard to mask the taste and certain things. Yeah. So some things I can just dump on like some oatmeal and mix it in, and they have no clue it's in there. But the magnesium roll-ons works well, but I don't know about the Bs.
I guess they have a strong smell and flavor, and he's pretty good about detecting anything that's hidden in something.
Mm-hmm. Zinc will definitely help that. So I think we can work in 2 directions,
Right.
Supporting his zinc levels and finding some, I love the dermal route. Like that's a great temporary solution. And then as his taste sensitivity kind of relaxes a little bit, mm-hmm. then you can try the sublingual or the other options.
Powder, yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great question. I will definitely get back to you about it.
Okay.
What else is going on? How's everyone feeling getting ready for the holidays and going through the holidays as far as like food, parties, being with extended family, anything?
For us, it's pretty simple. Like, we just have relatives come over, and I'm in control of what the food is. Now, the challenge is getting options to be eaten by my son, but I know at least he's not going to get something he shouldn't. So we're doing fine at our house.
Awesome.
I have a little bit of a funny story to share about the food. So I had shared that for Thanksgiving, we were going up to Maine with our entire family. So it was almost 25 people. And it was 4 nights, so we had to make all our food. We packed it all. It was like such an ordeal. And it was stressful. It was really stressful for us, but for Kylie, it wasn't. Like, she did so great. And it was so funny. Well, actually, there's 2 funny things about it. She loves to eat so much, even though she's so restricted. She was so excited watching us make all the things, and she was so excited for them all. But once we packed it all, she saw the empty fridge, and she said, "No, we're not going to have any food when we get home." But anyway, so we're driving to Maine, and she's still like thinking about all the food because it's all in the car and she knows it. And then she said, wait a minute, what is everybody else going to be eating? And I said, well, they're all going to have, similar food to us. So they're going to have Thanksgiving dinner. We're going to eat it all together, but they're going to have what they eat and we're going to have what we eat. And the way she processed it, she felt bad for them that they weren't going to get to enjoy our great food. And so she was wondering if we could share it with them. Even though they had all that other stuff, to her, that other stuff is like not great. And her stuff is amazing. It's healthy. It's good for you. It tastes good. It looks good. And it's so funny because we deal so much, all of us, I think, in our own ways with like other people's perceptions of what we're doing in our families. And so while plenty of people there were inwardly or outwardly judging what we had going on, like Kylie has none of that. She didn't miss a thing. Nothing they had was something that she would have come to me and been sad and wanted. I did have to put a lot of effort in to make sure if I knew they were having a birthday cake for my cousin, then I had a substitute for that. So like if we were having dessert, she had a dessert. If we were having breakfast, she had a breakfast, But outside of that, like her stuff was the good stuff. And those poor people who had to eat that other food.
Wow, Christy, that is such a great story. Way to go.
Thank you.
That is awesome. That's awesome.
I love that.
Are you sharing Christmas with other family members?
Yeah, but it's home. It's here. So it'll be so much easier. It'll be a walk in the park compared to what we just had to do.
Okay, great. I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you.
That's so wonderful. Anyone else have some food stuff? I can tell you that for us, my mom is coming to visit, and my mom loves the way we cook and the way we eat. And I talked to her a few days after Thanksgiving. I've talked to her many times. A few days after Thanksgiving, she was just having such a hard time. And she said, I've had a really hard few days. And she's getting kind of weepy about things. And I was like, what is going on? And then she said, I made myself some gluten-free stuffing for Thanksgiving, and it was so dry and terrible that I had Eric's stuffing with the real bread in it, and I've been such a mess. I've been crying for 3 days. So that's what gluten does to my mom. She's on it, and so every year she comes to our house for Christmas. And she's so excited because, we're all totally aligned with food and we all love food. And we usually have a couple of neighbors over to our house and and it works out really great. So I'm pretty excited. We don't have we grew up having kind of like a big smorgasbord kind of Swedish style big tray. So we have a much smaller array of foods. We don't have all the cheeses and we have plenty of stuff, and West knows nothing else, so he loves it. Makes me really happy. Anyone else have food stuff?
We're going to be in the hospital for Christmas, so but I'm just going to prep what I was planning on prepping before. I have his gluten-free oatmeal and some applesauce and some easy things that I know he can eat, and he'll be able to eat afterwards. I'm not sure how long we'll be there and what his appetite will be, so I'm kind of stuck on that. And the food in the hospital last time we were there it's usually not great, but it wasn't. I mean, there was fruit and a yogurt bar, and I ate some yogurt because I was really hungry, but everything else, it was like burgers and pizza, and there was a salad bar, but it didn't look very good. So I was kind of, oh my God, I got to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
To have things for him to eat, and for us too, because I don't want to be eating hospital food the whole time.
Right. Yeah.
It makes me crazy that there's not good food in hospitals.
I know, of all places, of all places. It's just a slow transition. It's a really slow transition. The science is there for sure, and it just takes a while for society. And
they all have a little organic section, like a refrigerator,
right.
of some things. That actually, the one in Oregon was amazing, because there was a little cafe that was close by, and they would sell their food there, and they would have kale salads and like some really good, it was like a quinoa salad and a couple just different options like that. And so you could get that. It was really expensive, but it was worth it, because, when that's that or a hamburger, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, I'll be thinking of you, and I love that you're going to bring your own food. They're definitely
we can
expert.
Yeah, we have a little trailer, and we can park our trailer in the parking lot there, which is amazing.
Oh,
so
wow.
We're gonna fill it with all the stuff that we'll need. So at least we can kind of, if we have too much stuff, we don't have to worry about it spoiling.
That's great. Oh, that's good to hear. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to have a few more recipes available, more kind of like holiday treat-ish recipes. Actually, right now, I'm about to put the pudding that I shared recently into our ice cream maker and see how that works.
Oh, nice.
I'll be experimenting. I mean, any of these recipes you really can turn into holiday kind of treats just by switching up the flavor, like, doing a pretty simple either like a hemp milk with some tapioca cooked, or some maybe add some peppermint extract to make kind of a peppermint. You can use hibiscus tea bags to color it a little pink to pull in that like candy cane look. And then either have it as pudding, or you can put that in the ice cream maker. I've been thinking about doing some gummies with some peppermint flavor, just because West is really noticing the food this year more than anything, and he's been asking a lot about candy canes.
Okay.
And we just had a really, like, November was really rough as far as his autoimmune reactions around sugar in particular. So it really upped the ante for me as far as coming up with more substitutes for him. So,
yeah.
And I will share what I figure out.
Please do. I made the marshmallows for s'mores for Thanksgiving, because we were going to be having an outdoor campfire. And the marshmallows were so easy to make uninterrupted. Like, there's no way I could have made them if I didn't prep it all in advance and then not have Kylie for 20 minutes. But really, it was 20 minutes. They were so easy. And I was just thinking, like you said, trying to think of something easy for the holidays. I don't want to start over. I've never done any sort of Christmas candy, cookies, anything, and I was like, oh, I can just do green and red. They won't be red, they'll end up being pink, but marshmallows. So I've already got the marshmallow recipe nailed, and now I can just color them, and she's going to, she'll be over the moon. So
beautiful. Can you share that in our Facebook group?
The recipe? Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. If I can use honey, then that's something that West can tolerate.
Okay. We had, I don't know what people did for like pies and things on Thanksgiving, but we used the Simple Mills. Does everybody know that brand? We used the Simple Mills, one of their breads. I'll put the recipe up, but one of their bread mixes, you would normally make like a little flatbread with it, but they, on their website, they have tons of recipes, and they have a pumpkin pie recipe where you can use that boxed mix for the crust. It was super easy. And then the pumpkin pie filling was really easy. And I mean, we have ridiculous food restrictions, and we were able to do all this. We might have had to substitute one or two things. It came out amazing. She had never had pie before. She was over the moon. Like, she thought it was the best thing.
Oh, fantastic. Awesome. Oh, that is really good to hear. I'm excited to see. It's been a little quiet in the Facebook group, and myself included. I haven't been putting much into the Facebook group this past November, and I'm excited to bring a little more in this month. And then we're gonna have a little bit of a break, which is gonna be kind of nice too. Next week we have a super special guest. I haven't shared this yet. Dr. Christina Bjorndal is being our guest expert next week. She recently, last year, she published her book, Beyond the Label, all about mental health from a functional medicine perspective. So yeah, I'm super thrilled to have her here. She has a son, I think he might be 12 now. Anyway, she just has amazing perspective and experience. She's practicing naturopath. So definitely think about your questions. She's totally aligned with the materials for December. So yeah, I'm super excited. And the time is a little bit shifted. I believe it might be an hour later than normal, but I'll send all that information out to you. And
What's the name of her book?
her book is Beyond the Label.
Ah, right.
Really fantastic book. Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, so that's what we can look forward to next week. And if you haven't scheduled your private session with me, your check-in, go ahead and do so. Times are a little bit limited, so definitely get that scheduled. If you absolutely can't schedule during the times available, definitely get in touch with me and we'll find another time. Anything else for today?
Oh, I have one question. What does everybody use as a butter substitute?
That's a tough one.
I'm going to grab something to show you.
Okay.
I cook with coconut oil, so like my eggs are cooked with coconut oil.
I cook with that, but like more for baking and stuff. I've tried coconut oil with some things, and it like flattens out. Other things that works well, and I've been experimenting. Ghee is the only thing that I've used that's actually worked well. But I don't know what everybody's take is on ghee. I like it. I don't have a reaction to dairy like my son does. So I use my husband and I use Kerrygold butter and ghee and stuff. So
yeah, butter's kind of a tough one. This is something that I learned about from Maria Emmerich. So the light is just blaring in the window today, which is so awesome because usually it's completely gray and dark in Seattle all winter. But it's hard to see. This is Nutiva brand butter flavored coconut oil. I looked online, and the ingredients are not very specific. But it says organic vegan butter flavor. And online I found someone writing about it who had called the company, and they said it was a combination of mint and some other very natural flavor that makes the butter flavor in here. So I decided to just trust it and go with it. Nutiva seems like a pretty reputable brand. And I learned about this from Maria Emmerich, who has the Easy Dairy-Free Ketogenic Recipes cookbook, and like Instant Pot keto recipes and a million awesome, a good handful of awesome keto cookbooks. So that's what we're using, and it works well.
Do you use it for baking?
I do, yeah. We actually got it specifically for these little gluten-free, dairy-free chocolate cakes that are tasty. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anything else? What are, so before we break up, what is either the rest and digest or the kind of neurotransmitter, right, balance kind of strategy or a habit that each of you think you can commit to really working on until we see each other again? Let me think for a second. I will. You know, one thing that I have not been doing as regularly is the breathing meditation, that Susan Kaiser Greenland breathing meditation in the evenings. I'm going to bring that back in for West. We usually do some tapping in the evening. Actually, I'm going to do two things. We haven't done the deep breaths in a while, and it might be because he hasn't been getting as worked up as frequently, but I'm going to pull in both of those things and do them every day for the next week. That's my commitment. Who else?
I'm going to order the oils that you were talking about.
Okay.
Try that for hair brushing, and then hopefully longer term for the shots, the blood draws.
Awesome.
I'm gonna work on tapping. Seeing if the first couple times we tried it, he was into it. He was okay with it, and then the last couple times we tried it, he was not into it all. So I'm gonna bring that back in.
Awesome.
I had talked to you about trying the tapping with my son. I know he had been introduced to it at school and had his mindset that nope, doesn't work, don't need to do it. But we're going to try together and see if that changes his opinion.
Awesome. Awesome. Debbie, is there anything that you want to work on this week? I'm not getting the sound.
Oh.
There
yeah,
you are.
I was speaking before and it didn't seem like people were hearing me.
Oh, that's why.
Okay. So this is just for me.
For you or for Zach, whatever works.
Yeah, I'm stumped for Zach. He's tried tapping a little bit and he's decided it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
To do it more. I don't know if I could convince him.
Yeah.
Are you having trouble with hearing me?
It's coming in and out, but I can hear you.
Do you think it's from my end or yours or what? Like,
I think we can hear you enough. Yeah.
yeah, so I don't think the tapping and the oils, he's got really the sensory integration stuff, and he's really picky about, he doesn't like the smells of any of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
how about for you?
So for me, I would definitely do oils. And I would love to try Jody Cohen's. It just seems really expensive. Like 5 mils must fly by really fast.
You know, it doesn't, because when
really?
I put my finger on the, I'll grab it and I'll just show you. It's so little. Here it is. So I've had this for many months and I use it frequently and it's still more than half full.
Oh.
Yeah. So I open up the bottle and I completely cover the little
right
top.
Yeah.
And I just do that.
Uh-huh.
And then I put the cap on so it doesn't evaporate or anything.
Yeah.
I'm conservative about the
yes.
cap. I rub my fingers together and I put it behind my ears on that mastoid bone.
Yeah.
Bone right behind your earlobe. That's it. That's all I use.
Oh, wow.
So the best one you would say would be to do the parasympathetic blend, or?
That's where I would start, because I feel like that is kind of like the big umbrella over all of the other issues that we get in our health are really issues of imbalance.
Yeah,
And so this is a really nice one to cover a lot.
that's what I will do. I'll try it.
It's accessible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And Terry, are you still here? I think Terry's gone. So that's it for today. It's really nice to see everyone.
I'm sorry I couldn't get on sooner.
That's okay. I know.
I was trying and I just couldn't make it happen. Yeah.
It's great to connect with everyone. I love what everyone is working on, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye. Bye.